So over the last week, we have been looking at the story of Little Red Riding Hood, and we have been looking at each character and thinking of ways that we could describe them. We have been noticing what they look like and what their characters are like, and we have been using lots of lovely language to describe the characters. Our learning objective has been to describe characters from the story using adjectives. Today we're going to carry that on a little bit, but we are going to get more creative with it because we are going to make a wanted poster. Now, when somebody is wanted, if they're on a wanted poster, it means that they're in trouble and we want to find them. So, of course, the person in this story who is wanted and who is in trouble is the wolf, because he captured Grandma and locked her in the cupboard and tried to eat Little Red Riding Hood. So people would want to find him to make sure he never does that ever again. So we're going to think about a wanted poster today. Now, we've spent some time exploring different ways that we could describe the wolf. We looked at pictures of real wolves, and some of the things we noticed were things like them having a long tail, and you can see that this picture of a cartoon wolf also has a long tail. We used words like sharp teeth. You can see he has some sharp teeth. We used descriptions such as black nose. And this wolf has got a black nose. And we described the wolf saying he had pointy ears. This wolf here has got some pointy ears. Those are some of the ideas that came from your sentences that you wrote about the wolf pictures. And we also yesterday sorted out some descriptive words, some adjectives, and put them into which person from the story, which character we thought they matched with. And some of the words that came to go with the wolf, they're all quite negative words, because remember, the wolf is a negative character in the story. We've got words like scary, cunning, evil, wicked, mean, and sneaky. Now, these are all here to help you out. You might want to remember and use some of these on your wanted poster. But I would like you, when you do make your unwanted poster, to have a go at writing things by yourself. But this word bank is here to help you. You can come back to this point in the video if you need to. Now, when we make a wanted poster, there are some ideas of information we might want to put on there. So this is a wanted poster, and of course the person who is wanted is the wolf. So on your wanted poster, you will need to draw a picture of the wolf. We'll need to put his name on. The word here is name. Now, this isn't for your name this time. This is for the name of the wanted character. So we need to write the wolf on here. Now, some ideas of things that you might want to add on your wanted poster. You might want to talk about his appearance. Now, appearance is what somebody looks like. There are some ideas here for things you might talk about. You might talk about his eyes. You might talk about his fur or his skin. And you might talk about his claws. But we already have some ideas for his appearance that we've talked about. We talked about his long tail. That's something that describes what he looks like, his appearance. We talked about his sharp teeth, his black nose, and his pointy ears. You might think of some other ways to describe him. So you might decide to describe his eyes. You might decide to describe his fur. You might decide to describe his claws. So those are some other ideas of how you can talk about the wolf's appearance on your wanted poster. Some other information you might put on your wanted poster to make sure everybody knows a little bit about the wolf. It says here the word crime. What crime did he commit? Well, you could write, he locked Grandma in the cupboard. He tried to eat Little Red Riding Hood. Because that's his crime, isn't it? Those are the things that he did that he shouldn't have done. And then another idea of something to put on your poster is his last known whereabouts, so where he was last seen. And the last place we saw the wolf was in Grandma's cottage, wasn't it? Another idea is for your poster, it says here, reward. Now the reward is what you will give somebody if they find the wolf and capture him. You might say the reward is £100. You might say the reward is some crispy buns that you have baked. You could decide anything you wanted to be the reward. So those are some ideas of things you might put on your wanted poster. Here is a blank wanted poster. So when you make your poster, you might want to use a whole piece of paper. At the very top, you will need to write the word wanted. You can copy it from the different posters that you have seen on this page. Wanted. Now, you will need to draw a picture of the wolf. Now this might be tricky for me doing it on the computer screen, but I'm going to give it a try. And I'm going to use a grey because the wolf has kind of got grey fur, hasn't he? So I'm going to make sure that I include his pointy ears because we've talked about his pointy ears, haven't we? I'm going to make sure that I include his long snout, his nose on the end, but also I need to make sure that I've got his sharp teeth. All those different words we've used to describe, we're going to make sure we draw our wolf to look just like that too. So we've got his long snout. I'm going to make sure I've got his eyes on there as well. And if I manage to put his body in, because he has got 4 legs, hasn't he? So if I manage to get his body in, I might also be able to include his long tail. We said he had a black nose, didn't we? So I'm going to put his black nose on. And in one of the pictures I noticed yellowy eyes on one of the pictures. But there was also another picture of a wolf we looked at this week where he had 2 different coloured eyes. He had one blue eye and one green eye. So it's up to you how you decide to draw your wolf. Underneath the poster, underneath the picture of the wolf, that's where you will do your writing. And there's not very much space for any writing on here. But if I was doing some writing, I would want to make sure that I talked about what the wolf looks like. So I might write, he has a long tail. So there needs to be at least one sentence that describes what he looks like and at least one sentence that talks about his character. So you might write, he is mean, he is cunning. I'm going to have a little go. I'm going to write, he has a long tail. Tricky word, he. He has a he has a long digraph. We'll be looking at that one soon. He has a long tail. We've looked at this A digraph before. Some of you might remember it, but we're looking at it again next week. He has a long tail. Now remember, I'm expecting you to write 2 sentences. So my next sentence would be, he is scary. So see how many different features you can put on your wanted poster. See how creative you can be. You might have some big paper you want to use to make it. You might want to paint your picture. You might want to collage your picture. See how creative you can be with your wanted poster and make sure it has at least 2 sentences on to describe what the wolf looks like, his appearance, and a sentence that describes what kind of character he is, like he is scary or he is mean. I can't wait to see your wanted posters and how creative you get with them. Have fun.